Hey, what's up, everybody? It's me, General Sam, back at it again with another Forehead Fables podcast. I'm sick as shit, but don't worry, because I also feel like crap, too. That was kind of an energetic intro, considering I feel like I could sleep for another 12 hours. Don't worry, I'm not going to be sick for the rest of this. The rest of this episode was recorded before I was sick. So I'm only going to sound like shit for the next minute. But one of you guys on the Patreon had a great idea of interviewing people on the Discord. And then I do these little interviews, compile it into one cohesive podcast. And then you, patronites, you patronites will vote on who was the best interview. And that person will get an entire podcast episode to themselves. So this particular episode had a lot of editing. I interviewed a lot of people, and very few of them were usable because it turns out that most people are actually really fucking retarded and not worth talking to. All I had to do was 10 minutes, and you would get like 3 minutes in and they would run out of things to say. And this one guy kept talking about his cock. So I was like, all right, that's not going to make it in there. So there was a lot of awkward ones I cut out because it just was too much for me to bear. And anyways, so this is the episode, the Patreon exclusive Discord interview sesh. I don't know. Let's kick it off with fucking retard's girlfriend. This is my first guest. It's I was trying to get a hold of Bumbo. Turns out it's not Bumbo. It's Bumbo's girlfriend because Bumbo's sleeping. And I was going to do 10 minute like interviews with 10 different people. And then afterwards, I could do like a poll and see whoever they like the most. And then it would be like a full-on podcast. So I was trying to get Bumbo so I could scream at him. But then I got you instead.
You want to go wake him up?
No, this is better. This is better because now I can get a third-party perspective. Everybody else has legitimate questions, but Bumbo, I was just going to scream at him because I've always, I just fucking started hating his guts, right?
I mean, you could probably do Bumbo like later in the day because he doesn't wake up till like fucking 4 p.m.
This is my point. This is my point, all right? So, all right, so he was making YouTube videos, right?
Yeah.
And pretend you're him for a minute, right? I was going to be like, dude, Bumbo, you're making YouTube videos. You were doing it. You were fine. And then you just stopped. He just stopped. Now, it would be different if he stopped to go to school or stopped because he had a job or something. He just dropped off the face of the planet and became. Are
you talking about recently or before?
This is like a year ago or more.
Okay, yeah. That was before. That was because he's a fat, lazy fuck.
Yeah.
But
and then all of a sudden, and I was like, dude, and I fucking hated his guts. I hated him. Because there's nothing worse than just someone to just. Do you know how many people would kill? Like stab a prostitute in an alley to have a channel with that many subs?
Honestly.
And he just chucked it. So then I was going to ask him, what are you doing, Because now he's back, he's at college, or he's doing like trade school thing, and he's uploading. He's come back as like a Stimpy clone all of a sudden. And I'm like, it's not like... Beat me for it. Yeah, he's doing both now. It's not like he didn't have time before. He was just sitting there staring at a wall all day. That's what I wanted to know. What was he doing?
Honestly, okay.
And you were there, right? When did you start dating him?
I started dating him in March of last year. So this was during his year off. And I was actually the reason he started uploading again. Yeah, he wasn't doing anything. He didn't have a job. He was just
staring at the wall. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. And then finally, when I moved in, okay, so this is funny. Okay, don't tell him I said this because he's gonna get mad at me. But he doesn't care because he's not ashamed. He doesn't give a shit. But
it's really the lack of shame that pissed me off too. Because I was like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "I don't know, dude. I'm just fucking sitting here, just breathing."
Yeah, that's pretty much.
Wake up, just stare at the wall.
I've
seen more ambitious houseplants than Bumbo. Bumbo just kind of sits there and drools.
When I first moved in January of this year. The first thing he made me do was get a job.
Oh, dude, hey, it's 2019. I supported
him for 4 months.
Yeah, it's 2019, dude. He had to be that stay-at-home dad.
Yeah, but he's not a dad.
Yeah, no, just a stay-at-home man.
Yeah, but You know what pissed me off was I was working constantly and shit and paying for everything for him, but then I'd also have to clean up after him, and I still have to.
Yeah,
He doesn't clean up after himself. He's really messy and gross.
Yeah, he's next level bum. Okay, so he started. All of a sudden, he got his shit together and started making videos again. So all contempt I have for him has washed away. Well, most of it. I mean, there's always going to be some. But what cracks me up now is he bought this what is that old man motorcycle he got with the big he got like a big fucking highway cruising motorcycle.
It's a Harley Davidson Sportster Iron something.
What are those called again?
It's a lot better than his other bike. His other bike was a piece of shit, but this one's actually okay. But he dropped it. He dropped it the night before last night.
Yeah, he dropped it. It looks like a fucking tank. It's a tank on two wheels. It's huge.
Yeah, he only scratched the brake, but the handlebars, one of the screws, the screws in his motorcycle, what is it called? It fucking broke. So his handlebars move up and down now, and they're not supposed to do that, but he still rides it like that. So one of these days he's gonna die, and then I'm gonna have to take over his channel.
Oh, well, it won't be that big of a decrease in quality. No, actually, you could tell, he's putting a lot of more effort now than he was before.
That's only thanks to me. He gets really pissed off at me because I force him to do shit, but now he's going to school. He's got a job and he's uploading.
Yeah, it's all three. He's doing the trifecta. This is how it works before, right? Bumbo, on his own, he's a good guy, but he doesn't really self-generate really comedic anything. Let's be honest, all right? He's not a fucking a well of comic relief. So he always had Poob. Right, Poob was his comic muse, where he just leached everything funny from Poob, because Poob is that guy just breathes funny, man.
I agree.
And then all of a sudden, Poob broke his hand and joined the corporate world, and now his gaming days are numbered, and so he's not around anymore. And so then I would say, who do you think Bumbo's current comic muse is? The person that he's just absorbing all comic energy from?
Literally no one. The only person he hangs out with is Fungletoe.
Fungletoe is just British Poop. That's I was gonna say it's Fungletoe, because I thought you would just go definitely Fungletoe. Fungletoe's his new muse, but you were like, nobody really. It's just Fungletoe. I don't know if you talked to him. He's fucking hilarious.
The only time I've heard anything from Fungletoe, it was when he was doing the Jaffa Cake meme. And that kind of died.
That guy won't fucking stop. I knew. I was sitting there wondering. I was like, all right, Bumbo's uploading again. He's streaming, but Poob's missing. He has to have somebody in his life right now that is his muse, his comic muse. And I'm sitting there thinking, who could it be? And then on Twitter, I see he goes, I bought some Jaffa cakes. I was like, oh, it's fucking Fungletoe, of course. Why did I think if Fungletoe plays Rust, Bumbo plays Rust? It has to be Fungletoe. And you know what I did? And then I saw that his payment got denied, so I went there with my big boy credit card and I bought Jaffa cakes. So I'm gonna be Jaffa Cake Boy. They're coming in September 20th. I'm gonna have Jaffa cakes. I'm gonna have Fungletoe on the podcast, and I'm gonna taste test him while he's talking about Jaffa cakes.
That sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
Damn, Poop really fell off. I bought Max Mordhau because he really wanted it.
Yeah.
Well, Bumbo, I mean. And then Poop wanted to play it with Bumbo, so I bought it for Poop, and then Poop disappeared.
Did you hear what happened to Poop?
He never paid me back for it.
Did you hear what happened to Poop?
He fucking broke his hand, and then he fucking got a job at Target as an intern.
Yeah. Did you hear the full story about his internship at Target?
No.
Okay, so first of all, he came to me and he was like, hey, I got this internship at Target. And he's like, I don't want to go, though. And I was like, well, what are the details? And he's like, oh, I get to go to the Target HQ, and they're going to pay me for the summer a ridiculous amount of money. So it's a paid internship. and it was big
Yeah,
boy
that's
dollars.
like rare to find a paid internship.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
And it was like big boy dollars, right? And they're paying for like
Yeah.
75% of his housing. It's in a city he's never been to. It's only 2 months. Even if they're like beating him with baseball bats every day, I mean, like I would still go. It's a new experience.
I'd be sucking corporate's dick, dude.
You know, Poop. You've talked to him, right? Yeah. I mean,
I've talked to Poop quite a few times.
That kid, he's strange to the point where he probably has a hard time assimilating into normal like corporate life. So he gets there and he does like some stupid fucking wacky poop joke. And nobody laughs because everybody is like interns. They're all straight-laced corporate America people, you know. And he quickly realizes, I have to be very serious here. Well, another problem is he didn't want to go because he's like he does like user interfaces kind of thing for apps. Like that's his strength in college. And he told me, he was like, Sam, I don't want to go because I've kind of fluked my way through my degree. He's like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. And I was like, dude, just get there. I mean, worst case scenario, they tell you to fuck off. So he gets there, and apparently they took all of his workload that him and the interns were supposed to do, and they moved it to India. And so he sat there in a break room for 2 months getting paid for it to play foosball. That's all he did. And like he came
do absolutely fucking nothing.
Yeah. And he's like, dude, I know like foosball moves. I thought you just spun the sticks. But he's like, there's actual plays, and I know how to do them now. But he said it was horrible because he just had to sit there and be normal. And he said about halfway through, he got close with someone that was there, and he was like, oh, he's like I would consider him like a friend at this point, right? But they had always kept up that very formal office kind of mentality because they're at Target HQ, their careers are ahead of them potentially, right? And he's like, I'm gonna see if I can break the ice and kind of like introduce some humor to this. And he had been in the bathroom, right? In the bathroom's normal bathroom with 8-foot ceilings, and he had noticed that, and then was walking by with the guy, and he saw someone go into the handicap bathroom. A totally separate bathroom for handicapped people. And he noticed the ceilings are 12 feet tall. They're taller than the regular bathrooms. And he just makes like a stupid poob observation. He's like, why the hell do they have 12-foot ceilings? They're all disabled. They should be half as high because they're in a wheelchair, you know, they're shorter. And his new friend was like, just looked at him and goes, why would you say that? Why would you even bring that up? I don't understand. And so he was like, all right, I guess I can't say anything funny. I thought that was funny.
That is fucking funny, but like,
yeah.
Oh god.
So he just had to be fucking normal, which for him is like trying to contain the Hulk, you know? Oh shit. Hey, we're at 14 minutes and 30 seconds, and it's supposed to be a 10-minute conversation. Any closing remarks?
Bumbo fell the fuck off.
Yeah, you know, this is better because I get that
sweaty neck beard.
All right. I doubt, you know, I have a pretty misogynistic fan base. I doubt you're going to make it to the final tier of competition.
Nah, it's okay. I don't want to make it to the final tier.
Okay. Yeah, because I have a feeling we'd have a hard time talking for an hour. Anyways, it was nice having you on. I'll talk to you later.
Bye, Boomer.
She called me fucking Boomer. Next guy is Ferris. His name on the Discord is JihadQueen. He's from Saudi Arabia. He lives in Switzerland. And he's like the one Muslim guy in the server.
Hello.
Hey, what's up?
Should I be concentrating for this, or can I keep playing this?
I don't know. I hear your keyboard in the background.
Okay, never mind. I will not do that.
It's for the podcast. It's for a podcast.
It's for the podcast?
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't watched it.
Yeah.
Okay. I need to watch it then.
It's going to be 10-minute. I'm doing 10-minute interviews with random people on the Discord, and whoever is voted as like one of the most interesting gets a full podcast.
Gets a full podcast?
Yeah, like a full hour long. They'll come back for like an hour long thing. And I was recommended from the people up above. I'm not talking about God or anything. Fungletoe told me to come down here and talk to you. He said you were a cool guy.
Thank you, Fungletoe. Yeah, I've been playing with him. He's a good guy.
Yeah, he's a funny dude. He's a funny dude for sure.
Yeah, it's really great.
Yeah. So, are you like from Saudi Arabia or what?
I was born there and raised. I have a Saudi mother and a Swiss father. So my father worked there in a third world country for.
So the main bargaining chip that you used I was like, hey, can I interview you for 10 minutes? And you were like, yeah, as long as you take away Kinshi's mod. Is that because she's a woman and you're from Saudi Arabia and you have a long-standing hatred of women for some reason?
Wait, before I answer this, do I have to like do meme answers or do you want me to be serious?
See, you be serious?
Like, I don't know what you expect of me, but no, I don't hate women. It's just,
okay.
I don't know. I have been playing Minecraft with Kenshi and she just builds better. No, she says my houses are, I built a mosque and she said it was ugly. So I'm kind of still mad about it.
Well, okay. I mean, in her defense, some of the ugliest buildings of all time have been houses of worship. All right? It doesn't matter.
No.
I mean, are you just building ugly mosques or are they actually good looking?
I have actually built nice mosques. I think it's on Freddy's server, Manfriend's server. I think you could even see it. It's still standing. If Kenshi didn't take it down because she threatened she would.
Oh.
Yeah, she's
Western girl threatening to burn down a mosque. That's not a good look for Kenshi. That might be a check off of her mod list. You know,
it's not a good time to make fun of minorities, right?
It's not. It's not. It
bad really choice on hers.
Yeah, that's why I chose to have you on the anniversary of 9/11. It's September 11th right now. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I have a cousin. His name is Islam, and he has his birthday today.
Really?
He will never enter America. Yeah, he will never enter America with this.
Is his name actually Islam?
Yeah, it's actually Islam.
What?
Yeah, it's actually. I don't know if it's a common name, but it's a name. Yeah.
I was about to call that stupid. I realized there's plenty of white people named Christian, which is exactly. Now that I think about it, it sounds fucking stupid. I don't know. Have you ever seen that video of the guy that's like he's talking 9/11? About no, it's this guy talking about he's like, I don't get why Muslim people name each other Muhammad. You can't name everybody Muhammad. There's so many people named Muhammad. It's confusing. He's like, white people or Christians don't name each other Jesus. That doesn't happen. And Jews don't name each other Satan. And it just cuts off the second he says Satan.
That's a good joke.
I don't think he's joking. I think he's just absolutely pissed off about it. He's just an anti-Semite.
Oh,
yeah. It was like it was funny because of how absurd it was. It was really what it was.
Yeah.
So okay, so you were born and raised in Saudi Arabia.
I live in Switzerland right now.
Switzerland right now. Okay. So did you come over there as a rape-fugee?
Refuge. Oh, fucking hell. Everyone asks me that. Like, I get always the same question in this fucking server. First of all, if I have oil money, or if I am a refugee, or if I hate women. Always those three. But no, my father is a Swiss man, so I was able to get into the country.
So anyway, so you have oil money?
Yeah, it was nice meeting you, Sam. Fucking hell.
You have a lot of oil money?
I've heard you're a funny lad in real life as well, so nice talk. Fucking hell. You know, I sometimes meet Saudi people on your server, you know, on this Discord server, and there's
more than one?
Don't speak. Yeah, there's many, but they always leave because they don't speak English. And every time I meet them, they're like, "Oh, hello!" And they are always so amazed about how many Muslims there are in the server. And the thing is, none of them are Muslims. Just everyone is screaming Allahu Akbar to them all the time. So they think they're like right at home, you know?
Yeah. The previous rando guy that I picked up to do a little interview thing, halfway through, he just starts talking about his hard cock. For like that's all he talked about. He was just like, and so I had to like steer it into something like so it wasn't as fucking weird. But it ended up being really weird. And it wasn't like in relation to anything. He just starts, like mid conversation, he's like, man, my cock is really hard right now. Fucking weirdo.
Yeah, no, but I have noticed something that I have been in some chats and they're really like calm. And every time you enter and quickly go out again, because you sometimes do that, everyone flips the fuck out like they have been touched by a god or something, you know?
Yeah.
And they like being ecstatic.
Yeah,
and I think it was the same situation with this guy with the hard cock, you know.
That's why it's very hard for me to find new moderators and new admins that aren't crazy because people act differently when they're talking to me than how they would act with other people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because everyone like flips out once they taste power, you know?
Yeah.
Like that's a Middle Eastern thing as well. I have experience with that.
Yeah, it's a Middle Eastern thing, you know, because like there's no social or I guess there's no ramifications at all for chucking your wife in the oven, you know, when she fucks up.
Yeah, no, like
and so they do it.
Like, but the problem is that there's a huge separation between men. Do you want me to be like serious about this topic? Or,
hey, dude, go for it, man. You know what? 90% of our window into Eastern what's it called? The Middle Eastern culture is through our news and or through politics, and it's not very. It doesn't look kindly upon the Middle East. It's always like,
of course,
like all we get is like it's either Obama drone bombed a shitload of people and kids died, or
that's weird.
I know, right?
Like if I research about Obama, I can never find the statistics for drone strikes the numbers, you know.
Yeah,
you can't find it. It's always like Trump drone strikes, even if I don't even type his name, you know.
Yeah,
it's weird. Anyways,
and then the other thing that we get is like would be, I guess, like crimes against women.
Yeah, but this is a huge problem, and crimes against gays. And I like to have discussions with my family because I like making people angry. Yeah. So I talk with my aunt about like homosexuality and why we shouldn't harm them and shouldn't like mistreat them in any way. But actually, homosexuality is a huge thing in Saudi Arabia. No joke. It's like really big. I could even suggest it was bigger than in America.
Well, it's a taboo.
It's a taboo, but many people do it, like huge amounts of people. It depends if you're like a known person. If you're a singer, you're not even allowed to dab on stage because it's somehow like related to weed, smoking and stuff. It's a huge debacle. Right. But
well, you know what it is? It's like this. If I invite you over to my house, right, and I got a dish of M&Ms sitting on my desk. And I'm sitting there.
I feel something coming. Yeah.
And I'm just walking around the room, and I'm talking to you, and you're like, "Oh, cool." And then I go to walk out, and you haven't even looked at the M&Ms. That's not even a thing you care about. But before I walk out of the room, I say, "Hey, one thing you can't do is touch those M&Ms." And then I leave the room. That's all you're going to be thinking about. So exactly. when your government looks at you and says, you can do whatever the fuck you want, you can beat your wife with a log, you can fucking rape a kid, I don't give a shit. But if you put your cock in another man's ass, that's when we have problems.
No, I don't think that's the scientific reason.
No, that's it, dude. If I was a straight dude and like that's the one thing society said I couldn't do, I would be tempted to fuck a dude. Hands down, I would do it. I would be like, there has to be a reason.
The usage of cannabis and stuff. Like if you forbid cigarettes, still people are gonna do it, mainly because it's forbidden and stuff. Yeah, no, but there's actually a reason. I've read something about. Do you know situative homosexuality? You know what this is?
No.
I think it's called situative. I speak German normally.
Yeah.
But okay, anyways. So that's, for example, in prisons where mostly just one gender is like available, I guess.
Yeah.
Heterosexual people turn gay or like just to do gay things because they have to satisfy their needs and they can't otherwise, you know? There's no other gender. So
gotta get that booty, dog.
Exactly. And in Saudi Arabia, men and women are like severely separated. It's like apartheid, just of the genders, you know? The two genders. Or is it allowed for me to say two genders? I don't know. America's fucking crazy right now. And you're American, so I'm not trying to.
You know what I've noticed? It's because we have social media and because things are so nice. Like we have nothing to worry about, really. There's nothing bad happening in America right now. Everybody has food. Everybody, for the most part, everybody has housing. The unemployment rate's at the low.
A problem, huh?
Well, it gets to the point where like the unemployment rate is down to like nothing. Like everybody has a job, everybody's happy, and so then they're like, all right, what's the next thing on the list? And there's like 25 people that really give a shit about the whole like you need to put my gender on the sign next to the bathroom, and they get the airtime because there's no other problems. So
no, but there is problems not in your country, but what your country is doing outside. You know?
Yeah, definitely.
Exactly, but people don't care about that.
No, they don't.
Yeah,
having a defense budget that's equal to the 7 other countries underneath us. Like we spend as much as the 7 next countries combined.
No, wait, isn't China like right under you?
Yeah, but still, them plus the other 6 people combined is our defense budget.
Really?
Yeah, it's ridiculous. And we got to have that much money so that we can drone strike kids and shit in other countries.
Exactly.
Now, this is a weird thing, is that you'll talk to people. I've talked to people in Discord where they come at me like they're mad, like as if I'm at the fucking Oval Office telling Trump to do this shit. I don't have any control over it. They didn't they didn't go, we want to bomb a bus full of kids in Palestine. Let's go ask Sam if it's okay. Nobody fucking came to my doorstep and asked.
Wait, people actually come to your Discord and like insult you?
No, well, you know
like
how
because they're actually
like people get all nationalistic and shit. Like,
yeah,
I'm sure you're proud to be Swiss or proud to be from Saudi Arabia. There is some inherent like pride in that, you know, because there's like cultural backgrounds that it's a very rich culture, both of them, and people are like that with their own countries, and then they get mad at America for the shit that it's done, which is justified, but they act like I did it personally. I'm like, I was just fucking born here, dude. You know what? I walk down the street and get a chicken sandwich, and that's about the only thing I do. I don't have any control over our government. What the fuck?
Yeah, there's crazy people, especially in your Discord. That's why I love it so much. There's people that still deny the Holocaust, like with their full hearts.
As not as a meme. Yeah. I've noticed
not as a meme, or like they say, like they deny that Syria, the Arabic Spring is happening, you know.
Yeah.
And I sent them like a article, and the main thing about the article was like a huge picture of like just a pile of dead children, you know.
Yeah.
And they said it was propaganda because it was making you feel sad, and I was like, yes, it has to make you sad. People are dying, right? And they still didn't believe it.
Do you have an Amazon Echo?
Amazon Echo?
Yeah, like one of those like home speaker things.
I recently live alone in a like 1-room apartment with no heating.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say like if you have one of those, if you ask the Amazon Echo, if you ask her if the Holocaust happened, she goes on like this. She reads you like a novel of like the reasons why it happened. And it's just funny that they programmed it to have like this super long response because people legitimately don't believe it happened.
Yeah, no, but there's like a thing happening in Yemen right now. That's what I know.
Yeah.
And Saudi Arabia's went. You know about it.
What, in Yemen?
Yeah.
What,
the war in Yemen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know why I don't like Yemen? It's
because it sounds like women?
No, it's one letter away from being semen, which is gay.
Okay.
I don't know.
I don't know why I'm laughing.
This is the dumbest thing I've ever fucking said.
Like, I normally don't polite laugh.
Well, I figured you went with the women one, so I figured I'd go the other way. It was actually I was gonna say women, but then you were like, oh shit. Yeah, so I went with semen.
Yeah. No, but okay.
Oh shit! Wait, we are well over 10 minutes. I'm sorry. Hey, you know what? Fungal said you were a good conversationalist. You really went there. You went all the way.
Oh, thank you, man.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Any closing statements?
Okay. Islam is the religion of peace, and if you want to know why, please ask me.
Is it really the religion of peace?
Well, it's a religion of peace. What I always say is it's a religion of peace, but not of pacifism. So it condones peace. And as a Muslim in the Quran, I'm not talking about Sharia or the other books that were written after the last religious figure has died.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about the Quran. So the Quran condones peace, and there's no way for a Muslim person to break a peace without the opposing side, like let's say Jews, or like not even Jews, like just people who attack you. Unless those people attack you, harm you, or enslave you and stuff, then you're just allowed to protect yourself. And even then, there's a lot of rules about harming the nature of the enemy territory, harming children, harming women, and how slavery works in Islam is like not actually a lot of rules. There's a lot of rules. So in the Quran, you have to know everything. You cannot just know one verse and expect to understand the whole thing. Because for every rule, there is like 50 other rules that like make it a bit more precise, you know?
Yeah.
And a bit more acceptable.
So you're a practicing Muslim?
Well, I believe in some way, but it's like I'm not. I pray at times because it relieves stress. But now I have a girlfriend, so I relieve stress, and also I love her a lot. And my parents, well, my mother doesn't condone it and shit like that. No, I'm not a full Muslim, but I
Do you
believe
have a
that
prayer
Muslim
mat?
isn't. You don't need a prayer mat. I have just a random. Oh, actually, I have a prayer mat.
Does it have a compass on it?
A comp.
Yeah.
No, it looks like inside of Mecca.
Oh, okay. Because I had like a
Turkish carp.
I had the only other Muslim person I've ever talked to. His dad got him a new prayer mat, and it was all futuristic. It had a built-in compass, so he knew which way to face.
Oh, yeah.
So he would turn it, and it would tell him exactly which direction Mecca was. That's pretty cool, right?
Yeah. You know what's happening? People are like finding it hilarious. In Mecca, you have to walk for a long time, like a pilgrimage inside of the the construction, right?
Yeah.
And there's people with like hovercrafts, just driving around. Yeah. Other people are like dying of thirst, and they're just passing them with hovercrafts and shit like that. Yeah. Huh. Yeah, it's crazy. It's a crazy time.
Oh wait, I had one more question. When you lived in like Saudi Arabia, because that country, I think, has a very huge gap between the wealthy and the poor. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like a middle class is a very small margin of people. Were you kind of more upper class or lower class when you were there?
So my father is a European person, and as a European person, you get extra privileges in this country. Like there is a closed-off compound just for European people inside of Saudi Arabia, and it's like full-blown luxus. Like there's swimming pools, there's tennis courts, there's everything. And I even tried to go there with my cousin, who was like 13 years old at the time, and just get him to play a bit of basketball, and they didn't allow him in as a Saudi person because he's Saudi, a 13-year-old Saudi.
Huh.
And so I was doing well, but I lived a lot with my grandmother as well, and they were like doing all right for themselves, like they're middle class. But of course, you see people on the street and everything.
Yeah.
Huh. No, there's a huge fucking gap. Like you can go around, you can live in a poor city and go a couple meters down the road, turn to the right, and you will see like huge villas and everything clean. You will see like a line on the street where the road is good suddenly,
Yeah.
And doesn't have potholes in it. It's fucking crazy. Like, the new prince is a fucking murderer and stuff like that, and a torturer, but he wants to actually help his own people, except if they stand up against him because he's a dictator in some way.
Yeah.
Anyways. No, but I was doing all right, alhamdulillah.
You know what? What's funny about that whole Khashoggi thing? Isn't that his name? The guy that was killed?
Khashoggi,
the
Khashoggi,
journalist.
yeah.
It was done with such a direct line to the prince, which was stupid.
Yes.
But like people act like the president doesn't have people killed. The president of the U.S., like there's people killed all the time by special forces. And he's the one that fucking signed the paper and said, yeah, do it. But it's never like, oh, Trump got him killed. It's always the SEAL Team 6 killed him. Yeah, who told him to go do it? Who told him to go do it?
Exactly. But at least the Americans try to hide what they do wrong. The Saudi prince, there was an interview with him, and he actually asked the reporter why they are mad because he killed a journalist. He actually asked him, why are you mad?
Yeah.
Why now? After all we have done. He doesn't give a shit. And he doesn't have the reason to because nobody is doing anything.
Yeah. Well, why was he killed again? He was like a journalist that did something. I forget what.
Yeah,
he spoke critical about the prince.
No, he was like an advisor.
Yeah.
Of the prince or something, and also a journalist. And then because he was an advisor, he had like a lot of information, and I think he released something like that. I don't know. But he was not really supportive of the Saudi government, and that's why he got killed. Like, not even just killed. He got fucking chopped into pieces and then put in a pit of acid, Well,
I mean, they didn't do that while he was alive. It's not like they cut him up and he was still like they killed him and then they were trying to get rid of the body.
No, but I mean, like, just kill him and finish, not just chop it.
They were trying to cover the tracks.
They didn't cover it.
No, they didn't do it well. That's for sure.
No, not yeah. But,
you know, if they wanted to make a show of it, they would have went and like beheaded him in the street or something like that.
Yeah. But you know, the thing is, most Saudi people don't support it at all what the government does, but we cannot say anything. And people keep asking me, why are you not fighting for your country? How? They have fucking chemical weapons.
You know, that's actually an interesting point, because the it's usually like the opposite, I would feel like, in a traditional democratic, which is not, that's not how it's going right now in America. But traditionally speaking, if I was a president, right, I would want people like Khashoggi, because they don't agree with me. I don't want a bunch of advisors that agree with me. That's just a bunch of me's. You want people that have as many conflicting ideas as possible.
Exactly, diversity, and then you find the middle line.
Yeah.
That's good, right?
Because
I completely fucking agree with you.
Yeah, but it's like, who the fuck? Like, that's so back-ass words that he would.
Yeah,
they would be like, nah, he doesn't agree with us, and he's giving us insight as to how he thinks we could change. Let's go kill him and dip him in the acid or whatever the fuck they did. All right, the man we have next is Fungletoe, my main man, always talking about Jaffa cakes, and we're gonna taste test them. Are you ready to do Jaffa cake review?
Yes, let's do it. Let's go for it, dude.
Go for it. All right,
go for it. It's time.
Did I just wake you up?
I was like kind of out of it. I was like on the verge of sleep. I was like laying in my chair like an old man.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was just thinking about Jaffa cakes, man.
You're just thinking about Jaffas?
Yeah.
But I got them right here. And
yeah.
Right after Abby left for lunch, and she fucking turned on the washer machine, and I told her I was gonna be doing podcast stuff, so that fucking bitch just trying to booby trap my podcast. So I went in there and fucking karate chopped the washing machine. No, and you know what sucks is I got my Jaffa cakes in.
Yeah.
Oh wait, hold on. How would we preface this? Yeah. Every day I get on.
Yeah.
And Fungal's talking about Jaffa cakes. That's
true.
all he taught. That and cum. Those are. This man is a dual-faceted individual. If he's not talking about Jaffa cakes, he's talking about cum. There's no middle ground. That's it.
It's never anything else.
It's never anything else.
If it's not cum or Jaffa cakes, then I'm not talking at all, really.
Yeah. In America, we don't have Jaffa cakes, right? So, so I took it upon myself to order some Jaffa cakes. That's what these are.
Great idea, might add.
A triple pack, 30 of these fucking things, and they took forever to get here. Made by McVitie's, is that right?
Yeah, McVitie's. Yes.
McVitie's, and then, but I also took the liberty of going through the comments on the Jaffa cakes, and I saw that a lot of people were like, "They're all right, but they're not as good as Pim's."
Oh,
and so I also took the liberty of purchasing some Pim's, which are. They're like ritzy white man's version of Jaffa cakes. And I'm going to be honest with you, looking at the packaging, the Jaffa cakes come in like they look like someone stomped on them. They're all fucked up. They look kind of gross. But Pim's, on the other hand, has a very beautiful package. It's nice.
Let's be honest, it's about the taste.
Okay.
You know, obviously, you can't judge it by the packaging.
All right. Well, yeah, I'm going to do a taste test, because if these things aren't just orgasm in mouth the second I put them in there, then, I mean, there's no... You're up your own ass thinking they're this fucking good.
I feel like the Jaffas they have to go in first. The Jaffas have to go in first because you don't want to taint the taste of them with the Pims.
Pims don't want to sully the palate. All right. Now
Exactly.
The problem is that every British person I've talked to, they come at me with they're like, it's kind of like an Oreo. I don't know if you have Oreos over there.
Yeah, we have Oreos. Yeah.
Everybody always comes at you like they're this fucking professor of Oreo cookies teaching you how to eat them. They're like, well, actually, you can't just eat the cookie. You have to twist off the top, lick off the frosting, or stick a fork in the frosting and use it to dunk it in your milk. I have seen 8 different ways of eating Jaffa cakes based off the various British people. They're like, no, first you eat the chocolate off, and then you munch on the what it is, it's like a little thing of angel food cake, and then it's got a layer of preserves, like fruit preserves. These are orange.
Yeah, it's like jam, like fruit preserves. It's like a weird yeah.
And then they put chocolate on top. And someone's posting dragon dildos in the fucking general chat. that caught me off guard. I came eye to eye with that fucking monster.
Oh my god, that's got a huge eye on it as well. Look at
that's a big fucking pee hole. Jesus Christ. I need to close Discord. These people keep posting wild shit. So, what are the various ways I should try this? I'm gonna try each one.
I'm a purist. I just go straight in for the bite usually.
Yeah.
But there's like some freak fucking ways to eat that shit. Like I never do it, but I've tried it. It's weird shit. Like
can you take one like a suppository?
You can if you want to do that.
Yeah.
But the disabled way people do it is they like slowly nibble the chocolate off. And then they like peel the orange sort of preservative part off the like cake bottom, and then they eat that separate and they throw away the cake. But that's wasteful.
No, I like the cake.
Yeah, the cake. Yeah, that's a great part of it.
Everybody eats Oreos where they're like they eat the frosting or they get double stuff, and then they like chuck the. I like the cookie part. I don't like the frosting that much.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like the cake is like it's the main part, but there is always that way you can eat it. But I've always just preferred the straight biting into it. I think the best way is just a bite. You get all of it in one bite.
What about beverage?
Beverage?
Yeah, to go along. Should I get a big glass of milk?
Milk actually goes fantastic.
Okay.
With a Jaffa cake.
Do you mind? I'll be right back. I'm looking at my fridge. It's right fucking here. It's right. You there? Yeah. Yeah. Now I'm a gentleman, right? So I put one ice cube in my milk to keep it nice and cold.
Oh no, that's gross, dude. Watered down. That's gonna be like watered down milk.
No, that's what everybody says. It's one ice cube.
Oh no.
All right, I'm gonna crack open the Jaffas.
Okay. I need to smell them first. You need to get that smell. It'll smell like the UK.
Does it?
No, it does not. But it's the closest thing you're gonna get.
All right, what the fuck is up with this? They put two of them chocolate to chocolate. That's not like they're sticking together.
Really? I've never actually noticed that. Maybe that's a 30-pack thing. So I can't remember them doing that.
Oh my god, they're all stuck together. I can't get a whole Jaffa.
It's just a bunch of Jaffas stuck together.
They are so stuck together. These two are coming. I might have to get like a heat gun or something and like
can you get like a knife and like
a blow dryer. Yeah, hold on, let me get a knife.
This
is why I have the cutting mat that I'm doing this whole podcast on. It's just for stuff like this. I foresaw a good food review happening. I'm gonna have to get some secondhand shots. Okay, I think the problem is they took these out of their natural environment.
Yeah.
Okay, because it's supposed to be in dreary, rainy the UK, and then they sent it over to the scorching asshole that is Florida, and they all melted together.
Yeah, they all just melt together. Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay, that didn't come out right. Hold on. I'm just gonna have to saw away at the bread on the one above it, and it's gonna be scabbed on.
You'll have to cut them a bit of slack then if they've come out a bit melted.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to give them a belt. Okay, this is not the most appetizing Jaffa cake I've ever seen. It's got the ass end of the previous Jaffa cake glued on top of it.
I mean, at least it's interesting looking.
Yeah. All right. First of all, I'm gonna have to actually cut them some slack because the breading is very, very crumbly and stale. I have a feeling these are old.
Oh god. Probably.
Hold on a second. There has to be like a fucking box the box has to have the date it was made, right?
Probably has a date on it somewhere, I'd assume.
Best before September 21st, 2019.
Oh god, that's 2 days.
2 days ago. God, what they wait? They like make them and then they just waited like 8 months. I gotta know, like when you get a fresh pack, tell me how many months you have before they're fucked up.
Usually it's like you could keep them in your cupboard for quite a fucking while
like
before they're past their day. Yeah, probably. Yeah, honestly.
I'm just gonna eat this one just raw dog. I'm just gonna.
Yeah, just go for it, dude.
Okay, let me tell you something. That is very stale.
Oh god.
That's not a fresh Jaffa.
Oh no.
You know, Bumbo tried buying some of these. Bumbo tried buying some because, you know, they got the fucking Jaffa spokesman over here. I bet you're getting paid by these people, aren't you?
I am. Yes, I am.
Do you work for McVitie's?
I'm McVitie's representative.
Yeah. Yeah, this is very stale. And Bumbo's card got declined because he's fucking poor. So, yeah, I'm kind of glad.
I mean, maybe try the ones that are like at the bottom of the packet. Maybe they'll be a bit less. Probably not. Honestly, this is just me trying to.
It is just a crumbly mess. All right,
oh god!
I'm getting them all out here. I gotta try to peel one away. Okay, this is called a reverse Jaffa. The chocolate on top got ripped off onto the ass end of the one above it, but then on the ass of this one is the chocolate from the previous cookies. So it's an upside down Jaffa cake.
It's a new way to eat Jaffas. I've never heard of this one.
Yeah, I'm gonna eat just the fucking fruit part, if I can.
I don't know if that'll be possible with the current state.
It's like, oh, what the hell? You can pick it off like a scab, like a pudding skin.
Yeah, it's like
scab.
peels off, right?
What the fuck? Yeah. Woo! Yeah, it's like a.
It's kind of nice, right?
It's a fruit nipple. It's like a little fruit nipple.
It like jiggles around, yeah.
Okay, I can get behind that. Now I have just like the chocolate indent. I should have set up another camera for this if I had another capture card. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not big on the orange filling, which is why I got the Pims. I got them in raspberry filling. But I'm gonna do one more. Are you seething in anger because of the way I slandered your Jaffas?
I'm holding myself back here.
And next time we play Tarkov, you're just going to let me die.
Next time I play anything, I'm going to let you die.
All right, dude. If you saw this, Jeff,
I'd probably be quite disappointed.
This thing is so fucked up. You have no idea. It's like it's like a Frankenstein Jaffa. I'm going to try dipping this one in the milk. I got to see if that improves it at all.
Might help with how stale it is.
Yeah, like revitalized it.
Yeah.
It's like when you dip an old black person in baby oil and they say all the wrinkles fell out and they look beautiful and new again.
Reborn.
You can't do that with white people, dude. Now it's time for now that I've seen how the East Londoners eat, it's time to see how the West Londoners eat. You know what I'm saying? With these Pims. Now these came straight from France's Royal Mail or whatever. So these are basically.
Instantly, it seems like you're making them seem more just better. It seems like you're trying to give them a better description already.
I paid fucking $4.99 for 30 stale McVitie's Jaffa cakes. I had to pay $30-something for just a pack of Pims. All right, so these better be good.
Yeah, okay. So
let me tell you something. Their packaging nicer. Their sheathing for their Jaffa cakes nicer. Oh my god! I just cracked this bitch open. They're pristine. The heat doesn't even affect them. They have a stamp on top, like a royal seal for like an envelope.
It's all a ruse.
It's not a ruse.
They're just trying to seem good. You're gonna bite into it, it's gonna be even worse than the stale Jaffa. I'm telling you.
Wait, hold on. I'm trying to get this fucker to focus. Focus on my hand, bitch. Look at that. Pims. Oh, that's good. That's it right there.
You do my Jaffa's dirty, man.
Still squishy too. Okay. It's not stale. That's a good start.
That's an instant improvement.
Yeah. And but in talking about like the quality of the chocolate and everything, about the same. I expected them to be, because of how cheap they were, I expected them to be like kind of waxy, you know?
Yeah. Is it surprisingly just average?
Yeah, I was expecting this thing to kind of give me a blowjob or something because I spent $30 on it. But
I can't believe you said $30 on a fucking packet of Pims.
All right, listen here, dude. I got the Patreon for this podcast. I got all the audio equipment for free, and so I basically have like an overhead budget that I get to spend on stupid shit. Like, I bought an extra camera and everything. Abby's like, "Why are you spending all this money?" I'm like, "I got the Patreon for the fucking podcast."
Spending your money wisely.
Like, I would feel bad if I took the Patreon money and spent it on YouTube stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I figure I better roll it back into the podcast. So I got like lights and shit, and I got like the nice desk and
some real professional.
I got Pims.
Pims is that's the most professional part right there.
That's the most professional part. All right, I'm gonna hold on. I'm gonna see if I can get the fruit nipple. If this one doesn't fruit nipple, then I'm gonna be upset.
Oh, that's a big L.
That's a big L. And I'm gonna check the expiration date on these fucking things. Okay, theirs is it's too gummy to make a fruit nipple.
Okay, so theirs is a bit more like gummy.
Yeah, it doesn't come off in like a weird like, you know when you get a letter in the mail. Or like a credit card, and it's like stuck to the envelope with a booger. Like that's what McVitie's is like. But then the Pims one is like, it's just it's like a good glob of cum.
A glob of cum stuck to the cake.
But their preserves actually, I can taste that they have like the seeds of the raspberry.
Oh, in the Pims? Mm-hmm. It's too high quality.
Let me see the expiration date on these fucking things. I don't know. Oh, here we go.
You'd assume they have like the same kind of like lifespan though.
Yeah, I would assume, which means that these are substantially newer because these are good until January, March 31st of 2020.
Yeah. Okay. So
these are months newer.
They've got an advantage. Yeah. Yes.
Months upon months newer. Man, you can rest at ease knowing that I didn't even get a fair shake at the Jaffas.
You did not. You did not get a fair. It's not a fair test, man. I wonder why they send out like out of date Jaffa cakes to people who want to try them. It's absolutely scandalous.
Yeah. You know what? Well, I finished with my Pim.
Wow, we really getting into Pims. That's a disappointment right there.
Mm-hmm. The Jaffas. I ordered them, and they got to my house 3 days later. So they were old, sitting in a warehouse here. Whereas the Pims themselves came straight from the factory. I had to wait like a week and a half.
Jesus.
So these are like brand spanking new. The Jaffas have been sitting somewhere.
The Jaffas have been there. They've been living.
They're just so crumbly. I don't know. That's a disappointment, dude.
That is pure disappointment.
Yeah.
Honestly,
I feel like I didn't give them a fair shake, dude. I'm sorry.
Maybe it's a case of you got to be in the UK to get the real Jaffa experience. Maybe it'll never work out for you Americans. You're just never going to be able to understand the real taste of a Jaffa cake in your mouth.
Yeah, I met that
nice in-date Jaffa.
I met that Jordan Rance guy in Seattle, and I was like, dude, you need to have biscuits and gravy for breakfast. And I got him biscuits and gravy, and he didn't like it. And I was like, at the end of that, I was thinking, we're in fucking Seattle. Biscuits and gravy comes from the South. Like, we are exactly like 1,000 miles away from the origin of a good biscuits and gravy dish. So I'm not surprised. Like, I tasted his gravy. It tastes like fucking chicken noodle soup. I'm like, that's not good. That's not good biscuits and gravy.
I mean, also, biscuits and gravy isn't really even a thing over here. Biscuits are a completely different thing over here in general. Like we say, like a cookie. It's a hard, like, cookie.
Yeah, it's cookies and gravy.
So, like, it's cookies and gravy. To us, that just sounds like dog shit. That does not sound like something appetizing.
By the way, this has been going on for 20 minutes. It's supposed to be a 10-minute interview.
Oh, well.
Hey, my next guest is Potasty. I forgot to shoot an intro for him, so it's just a black screen.
All right, you've been stolen for the time being. Is that all right?
All right.
Now, I have pre-written questions. It's actually not so much a question. It's just a topic to talk about. They're not good. But let's see here. Okay, we could either do one on Bigfoot or we could do one on, I'm just going to dive into this one. Okay. Okay, so have you heard that the new 007 is going to be a woman?
Yeah.
They're pushing for that. You got a problem with that? You laughed.
It's funny, and I also have a really good meme with that one.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, what's that?
I'll try to find it. It's on my phone somewhere.
Okay. Well, like, do you have an issue with women, not women so much as, but them just like taking pre-existing intellectual properties like brands and stuff and just like redoing them with women, like Ghostbusters, for example, like all female?
Like, it's fucking stupid. Just make your own characters. Because it's like, if you're to make like a new thing, like go ahead.
Yeah.
But like, especially the thing with the James Bond one is like, we all thought, because they said he was going to be black. So we're like, oh, Idris Elba. Like, we all expected Idris Elba, and we were fucking hyped for that shit.
Yeah.
And
he's awesome.
And then this fucking no-name bitch just comes along and is like, oh yeah, James Bond, black female. Epic.
Well, I would say my problem with it is I feel like they're doing it for the sake of doing it. You know what I mean?
Oh, they absolutely are, yeah.
Just because it's not that for example, like the Ghostbusters thing, did they have a new Ghostbusters script that was awesome? No. Did they want to bring the story anywhere? No. They were just like, let's do it, but with women. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And same thing with like that Ocean's 8 or whatever, the remake of Ocean's 11. Now, you could say like the one that was made by Soderbergh in 2001 or whatever, the one with George Clooney, that's a remake of like the 1960 whatever movie called Ocean's 11, which was a great idea because the first one sucked. And then they made it, and they had this great chemistry between Brad Pitt and George Clooney. Everybody watched the whole movie, and we're like, dude, when are these guys going to fuck, you know? There was such a good chemistry between everybody that was on the cast. And then when they were like, hey, let's make it but with women, I don't know. Like, I don't see why they did it. Besides just making an all-woman thing.
Yeah, and it's like, well, I always like wonders like, who the fuck are they trying to pander to with that?
I guess women. I don't know.
Because it's like, I never like hear anyone that like actually unironically thinks it's a great idea.
Yeah. Well, I guess it's kind of like that Black Panther thing. When Black Panther came out, there was 2 negative reviews of it. And the people that did the negative reviews, they were slandered as being racists.
Yeah.
Because they were just like, I don't know, the movie just kind of sucks. And they didn't say anything about like, hey, it sucks because black people are in it. No, they were just like, the movie just doesn't.
It was all
it's
right.
not bad. It's just a Marvel movie, you know? And there's been 30 of those. At some point, they're going to stop being new.
Yeah. Also, not to mention the fact that like it's Marvel, but like they had some of the shittiest fucking CG work in Black Panther.
The ending where they're fighting on that.
Dude, it was so bad.
You know what that reminded me of? It was like a more vibrant Tron, but it didn't look as good as Tron. That movie came out 4 or 5 years after Tron did, and Tron looks way better.
I feel like it was longer than 4 or 5 years, wasn't it?
I don't know.
Tron was a while ago.
I thought Tron was like 2011. It might have been older than that, but I don't know, man. Yeah, it's probably a bigger gap. When did
Tron Legacy was 2010 and Black Panther was what, 2017?
Oh god, 7 years difference.
Yeah.
And it just looks like dog shit in comparison. I don't know.
Like, it's by far like the worst looking CG work in any of the MCU films, but that was my fucking thing. And then I heard that like I got nominated
we just
for
need
like
to settle
best
with
visual
the fact.
effect.
We need to settle with the fact that you're racist for saying that. So, wow, that badge is on your chest. Have fun walking around with that.
Damn it, shit.
Same thing with. Well, you know, I feel like the point of 007 is that he's like, it's like insight into that cloak and dagger 1960s. Like Cold War era spy, like that's the archetype of the character.
Yeah,
he's like a womanizer. He's suave. He's a little bit.
That's like the entire character of 007.
Yeah, that was the entire character. And when they remade it with I was gonna say Daniel Radcliffe, but that's what's the fucking guy's name?
Daniel Craig.
Yeah, when they remade it with Daniel Craig, everybody was like, "All right, that's an awesome reinvention of the character," because he was still like the same character, but it wasn't Cold War anymore. And then they made him a little bit more brutal, right?
Yeah, it's like a lot more action oriented, but he was still like that same like suave womanizer type that he's been since the fucking however long, 60s, 50s.
Yeah, but I still feel like that was a huge tone shift, even for James Bond. Like it was good, but it was a huge tone shift.
Yeah.
Now just scrapping all of that and just turning into a woman. I don't care how fucking good the movie is. It could be a great movie, and I could even love it. I could say, "Hey, it's a fantastic movie. I love it." It'll never be in my mind a James Bond movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's just gonna like if I ever marathon watch the James Bond movies, I'm never gonna be like, all right, now let's watch that the new one with the fucking Halle Berry or whoever the fuck they have playing her, because it's
like a no name actress too.
I don't know.
Like it's not even like a well known like black woman actor. Like I was talking to my brother about it. And he thought it was someone like Halle Berry or someone. It was like, at least she's recognizable. But then like he pulled her up. He's like, all right, who the fuck is this? Like,
yeah, I figured it'd be like Kerry Washington or something. I see this guy down there. His name's Potasty. Now, I've talked to Potasty a couple times, and I'm gonna go down there and see if he wants to chat. Yeah, he keeps posting fucked up porn in the general chat, so I figured he'd be pretty fun to talk to. You know Elon Musk?
Yeah.
Would you say, he's from South Africa, right?
Yeah.
Is it racist to say that America's richest African American is a white guy? That's not racist, is it? Anyways, no, Elon Musk is like, you know how everybody thinks he's like a great guy, like he's a good guy, right? Yeah. And then Jeff Bezos is like the counter to him. Have you ever heard of people likening Elon Musk to like Tony Stark and then Jeff Bezos to Lex Luthor?
I haven't heard of that like specifically, but I've heard like shit like that. Yeah.
Could you understand it? Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Would you agree with that?
Like, probably.
Yeah. I feel like, I don't know. I also feel like, imagine being at that level where like Elon will make a tweet and it'll fucking it'll fuck up the stocks on his company because he'll be fucking around on Twitter.
Yeah.
You know? And then Jeff
Bezos.
Why I
love him, dude.
Jeff Bezos, on the other hand, realizes the impact his words have on his company because he's a businessman, you know, he's got billions upon billions upon billions. And he goes, maybe I'm just going to stay off Twitter. People will think I'm evil because I'm not reposting memes, but my company will be doing fine. That motherfucker is so rich that I've seen people break down in charts like what he could do with his money, right? The immense amount of wealth he has. And he's got like, I forget how many billions, but it's a lot.
It's a lot. It's less now that like the whole divorce happened, since like the wife took like half of his money.
Oh, really?
Okay, yeah, it was somewhere like 150 something.
Damn.
I can't remember.
Well, at the time, I remember it was the time this chart was made. He had like 100 billion or something, right?
Yeah.
And they were talking about what he could do with 100 billion. They were like, oh my God, he could take care of homeless hunger in America. He could pay off everybody's college degree. He could get rid of whatever disease, like you know how like the Bill Gates Foundation, they're doing like malaria, because that guy's cool as fuck. He's like, I'm gonna get rid of malaria before I die. Like that is some cool shit. But
yeah, Bill Gates is underrated.
Yeah, he's awesome as fuck. Plus, have you seen him jump over that chair? What a fucking power move. He jumps over an office chair in an interview for no reason. What a Chad. Probably trying to get in the pants of the lady interviewing him. He's like, yo, hold up. Let me jump over this shit in my pleated slacks.
How long ago was that? I remember like lots of memes a long time ago.
That was in like the early 2000s, I think.
Yeah, because I remember like seeing like MLG memes of that.
Yeah.
With the fucking Doritos and Mountain Dew shit.
Yeah. Anyway, but the best part about that whole people trying to quantify Jeff Bezos' net worth was after Hurricane, I think it was Michael or Hermine or whichever one. I've been raped by too many hurricanes in the past 3 years. Whichever one wiped out Puerto Rico. I think it was Hermine.
Almost all of them do.
Yeah, I think it was Hermine. After Hermine wiped out Puerto Rico, they were apparently it would take 100% of Jeff Bezos' wealth to only fix 85% of Puerto Rico.
Jesus Christ.
And then when they're at their peak of fucked up, like the place is in shambles, Hurricane Michael comes by and just takes a fat coil of shit right on their forehead. That place is so fucked up, dude. And I have people like family friends that are from Puerto Rico. And they, you would think that they would be like, dude, we really need to send federal aid. Because, they're from there and their parents are there. And this lady fucking snapped at me. She was like, no, we don't need to send them any fucking aid. They don't pay taxes. Why the fuck should the federal government help rebuild their shitty little island? They're just a bunch of freeloaders. I'm like, Jesus Christ, lady. People are just, you know what? With the amount of hurricanes that we've been having recently, maybe they should just not live on that island. I think that might be.
Honestly, though,
live in teepees or something. Yeah, that place is fucked up. Like, I wouldn't move down south right now. Like, I'm already at the northern part of Florida. I'm inland enough I don't have to deal with like the roof of my house getting picked up and carried away. But I don't know. I wouldn't go down there. There has, I guarantee you someone's made like a chart or something tracking the amount of hurricane damage that's happened over time, and I feel like every other year we're hit by one, whereas before it was like once a decade you'd get hit by one.
Yeah.
People talk about Hurricane Kate, which was in like the late 80s. Where do you live, by the way?
I'm from SoCal, but I'm in New York right now for college.
So you have no fucking clue.
Oh yeah, like I just have friends that live in Florida, and they're like always talking about it recently. I'm like, God damn, bro, just fucking move.
Yeah, you know what's funny is I remember I have a friend that lives in New York City, and he was talking about Hurricane Matthew or something. Like this was like 7 years ago, and he was like, "Dude, you have no idea." And I looked it up. Hurricane Matthew was like, it wasn't even a hurricane. It was a hurricane when it was by me, and then it went up the East Coast and it turned into a tropical storm.
Yeah, I think the only one that hit here
fucking
was
swamped you guys.
I think it was Sandy.
Oh, it was Hurricane Sandy. Okay, yeah, never mind.
Yeah.
It wasn't Matthew. It was Hurricane Sandy. Yeah,
because my brother was in Pittsburgh at the time and he got fucked by it.
Yeah, and it was just a tropical storm. I was like, what the fuck? I've been on the beach during a hurricane, like at the edge bands, not in the fucking heart of the thing. But and like there's people surfing and stuff at the beach, and and I was like, what the fuck does a stupid tropical storm? It can't do that much. And then I visited New York City, and I realized just how flat it is and like close to sea level. And then I went and visited Ellis Island, and while I was on Ellis Island, there's a water line about eye level inside the building. And they're like, yeah, that's the water line from Hurricane Sandy. I was like, holy shit. What? Like the fucking island got swallowed. And then it slowly drained back down, and all the subways filled up with water, and like that place got swamped.
Yeah.
I didn't realize how susceptible it was to flooding until I saw all that shit. All right, well, anyway, it's been 18 minutes. So it's supposed to be a 10-minute conversation. All right, any closing remarks?
I don't fucking know.
Yeah, all right. Awesome.
All right, I said I wasn't going to do any interviews while I was sick, and it turns out that a lot of the interviews suck, so I have to do some while I'm sick. Anyways, this is my man Musclebust. He doesn't know we're doing an interview, so I'm just going to drag him in here. Do I sound sick?
Yeah, you sound very sick.
Yeah, I don't feel good.
Shit! Yeah, you got a wheezy laugh.
Yeah, I want to crawl on the bed and die laugh.
Oh damn!
Not good. Yeah.
Are you the only one, or is your kid sick too?
No, I got this shit from my kid. They cough right in my fucking mouth.
Right?
Yeah.
They do.
And then
kids are like fucking
we're really inconsiderate
weapons.
too. Yeah.
Yeah. God damn.
Yeah. Hey, you want to do an interview?
Look, right now?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. Okay. Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
with your fucking grovelly ass voice.
Yeah, it sounded good, right?
Sexy, hot podcast voice. Yeah, sure.
Okay, so the problem is, hold on, let's move you up to streaming. There we go. Okay, so the problem is that I got I had a bunch of interviews, and then I realized that when I was editing them, that most of the people that you find on the Discord are kind of fucking lame. There's a lot of lame people, and so there was one guy that just kept talking about his cock like the whole time.
God,
yeah,
that's funny for like 5 minutes.
No, I was thinking any fucking idiot I could interview for 10 minutes. Like any person can be entertaining for 10 minutes. That's not hard or worth listening to for 10 minutes. I figured it would be hard. Maybe I have too much faith in humanity, but I thought maybe it would be hard to find someone that can't be, I guess appealing for 10 minutes because everybody gets their 15 minutes of fame. And I figure the reason is that they're entertaining for 15 or for 10 minutes, and then there's 5 minutes of them not being funny. And so then people, that's why it's only 15 minutes of fame.
Yeah.
Because they're like, oh, this person sucks for the past 5 minutes. All right, on to the next person. So I figured, I figured a normal person could be entertaining, but it turns out that's wrong.
10 minutes, that's like the max.
Yeah. Well, no, a lot of people I would talk to for like 3 minutes, and then it would start to go downhill. They're like, all right, I'm out of stuff. It's been 3 minutes.
Yeah. It's because the people in this Discord are so young. Like, none of them is like experienced shit. And
that's true.
You got like crazy people like Rita who can fucking.
Dude, I should get Rita. I should get Rita. Rita's funny.
You talked about getting Rita on the thing.
Yeah.
But see, this is the thing about Rita. Like, he'll say something funny, and then he'll laugh for 4 minutes consecutively. Like that's half of the shit. Like Rita has a funny laugh.
Good. That's not good because I laugh at my own shit too. So it'd just be It would just be that'd be great if like he stone faced everything I said, and then I stone faced everything he said. So it's like only us laughing at our own shit. Okay, so you live in Norway, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have you ever heard of cryptids?
Cryptids?
Yeah.
Oh, what's that?
A cryptid is like Bigfoot or the Loch Ness monster.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Things cryptids. That fucking insane people believe are actually real.
like weird creatures and shit.
Do you have cryptids that are region specific to Scandinavia?
I think so. We have like there's a bunch of weird like folktale creatures. I don't remember the specifics, but I could find a couple if I Google.
Don't you guys have that what's the man thing with antlers on it?
The man thing. Is that Nugget?
No, never mind. If that's the name of it, that's not it. No, no. I was gonna ask you. Do you think paranormal stuff like cryptids are a real thing, or do you think that there's a possibility that they're a real thing?
No, I don't think so. No, I have no faith in wacky shit like that.
Yeah,
I can see why people back in the day would think that shit existed because,
not even up until like 1950, story. I feel like it might be plausible. But then, the corners of the globe have been filled out.
Yeah, exactly. And like, modern technology, you'd find that shit immediately.
In a minute.
Like,
and Lake Loch Ness is not that big. And a creature that big would have to eat a lot of fucking fish. You would see it.
Yeah, we have technology to like see visible heat on a camera for like miles at a distance. You'd see that shit immediately. Yeah, no, I don't. Shit like that don't exist.
No, I was recently watching like a Joe Rogan clip with Dan Aykroyd, I always thought was kind of fucking insane.
Yeah.
And he was
watched that.
You watched that too? Yeah, he was like totally. He's like, oh yeah, it's real.
when he talks about the crystal skulls, and Joe is like trying to be nice to Dan Aykroyd. You know, Joe Rogan's known to like feed on a couple like conspiracies. He's trying to be like,
you know, it's bad when. I think like the most entertaining podcasts are the ones where Joe Rogan's the sane person at the table.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
I love those. Yeah, because usually
if you look at the science and you know,
he's a little
Joe's
bit
funny
insane,
like that. But Joe's funny like that. Like he loves science just as much as he loves conspiracy theories.
Yeah. Okay. How about this?
Concepts.
I have a Logan, right? Have you talked to Logan?
Never.
Okay.
Actually.
Well, Logan is he's a good friend of mine from like high school, and he's super left wing. Now I'm Ripley's Believe It or Not. I think I have like a lot of alt-right people on my fucking audience, but I'm a pretty liberal guy. You know, I don't have a problem with anybody. And my theory is that if everybody has equal opportunity in life, then when I go to have inevitable heart surgery, the best possible person would be my heart surgeon. So I'm only egalitarian out of self-interest. I don't want some white guy doing heart surgery on me just because he's fucking white. If it's a trans black woman that's going to save my life with her fucking beautiful, sexy, manly, beautiful heart transplant hands, then so be it. I don't give a fuck. As long as I walk out of there alive, that's all I care about. No, but Logan, on the other hand, is very far left, and he hates Joe Rogan because he gives a platform to people that like that's a big thing, is like giving a platform to people that are insane. And my thought process on it is when he has Alex Jones on there, when he has Dan Aykroyd on there, when he has that guy that's talking about the fucking Denisovans and the Mayan fucking or what are those people called? I can't remember.
No idea.
I don't know, but he's like some British dude. And when he has like those crazy people on there, you can tell that he's kind of like making fun of them. Not making fun of them, but it's like they state their case and you can tell like it's there for our entertainment, you know?
Yeah.
Like you don't see people like Logan getting mad at the History Channel or the Discovery Channel for having ancient aliens on. You know? And the people that believe ancient aliens, it's not like if that show was never on, they would fucking snap out of it and just be normal people. Like it takes a certain level of fucking retarded to believe that shit to begin with.
Yeah, they're still gonna believe it even though they have a platform or not. Yeah.
When you blacklisted Alex Jones, it's not like the people that followed him took off their tinfoil hats and are like, okay, I'm voting for Bernie now.
Oh, I'm glad we got him off the air. Now we've cured all the crazy people who fucking
like that SpongeBob episode when they kill the giant tentacle thing, the alien, and like everybody in Bikini Bottom snaps out of it. You know, it's not like that. It's not like he had him under his influence. The guy's fucking insane. He attracts insane people.
Yeah.
What's the problem with that?
I guess. Yeah, I don't think giving someone a platform will. Maybe the 1% watching it will be like, wow, this kind of makes sense. Dan Aykroyd's making a really good point about this. How could no tools could form a crystal skull in pure diamond? Oh, okay, I believe that. Maybe 1%, but the rest of us are listening to Dan Aykroyd and being like, wow, I liked him in Ghostbusters, but he's crazy.
Insane. Yeah. No, I think
which is entertaining on its own. Like that shit's entertaining. It doesn't mean that I start believing in it.
I think a big problem
I think that's a big problem with the left is that they're so scared of platforming. They want to live in an echo chamber. Yeah. And I think that the worst thing you can do is live in an echo chamber.
Well, my life would be very lacking in entertainment if I didn't know Alex Jones was around. If I lived my whole life without seeing him, God, I saw that clip. Have you seen that clip where he's like running across the street and he's like, I'm gonna beat your ass, you son of a bitch. Like someone posted that as like when your dad finds out you haven't been changing the oil in your car, and they posted that clip. Dude, that guy is like a never-ending source of entertainment. Nobody believes anything he says is real. There's like, and the people that do are already so fucking far gone. It's not like you can rely on them for anything. I don't know.
Yeah, it's not like you're hurting society by showing. I don't know. It's so weird to defend the left for being like, get Alex Jones off the air. We don't want him influencing the young children of our generation. Like, what? Fuck off. It's just entertainment. It's just,
the problem is that
category of entertainment.
If we're right, then we get to laugh at Alex Jones. But if we're wrong, there's some serious ramifications. We have effectively let an entire generation of people get brainwashed by a crazy guy that believes Hillary Clinton's a lizard, But I don't know. I think I have too much faith in people is what it is. Because I'm a skeptic about everything. And a lot of people are skeptics until it's like, oh, it's a conspiracy theory. I believe it. But if it's a conspiracy theory, I'm a skeptic. If it's something that's stated as a fact, I'm a skeptic. And it's like, when I heard about the Holocaust the first time, I did a lot of research. And my fucking,
I can't believe it didn't happen twice.
No, like my family was like, are you like this Holocaust denier? Because I was like looking up a lot of shit. And I was like, no, I wanted to see it. And then here's the thing is like, they can deny the Armenian genocide because the Armenian genocide in Turkey, they just went through and fucking killed them. But in Germany, people that deny the Holocaust happened, they don't realize the Germans were methodical, bureaucratic people, dude. They had paperwork on everything. And you can see train car after train car, how many people were in it, where it came from, which concentration camp it went to. And there's thousands upon thousands upon thousands of them. And then there's the people that never got into the paperwork. So yeah, there's like an approximation on victims, but there's paperwork to substantiate that it did fucking happen. And you can't make up something like that where it's like, oh, we'll pay, what was it like people believe crisis actors? We'll pay 25,000 witnesses that did their shit in the Nuremberg trials. But I looked into it because it's like, if anything, I like researching shit like that. I went on a huge research thing on the rape of Nan King,
All right.
Because, that's a hugely disputed thing where people tried to cover it up. And it's just something that's interesting. That's why I like that show Chernobyl, because there's a lot of there's a lot of mystery about Chernobyl, like what actually happened there. And then it turned out, you know what the truth is? The most factual base I can find for it is a game called Stalker. Call of Person.
Very factual. Very accurate.
That's where I get all my information.
Based off like several layers.
That fucking HBO show is a sham. They're just trying to cover up the real thing. What it is stalkers are going into the exclusion zone and fighting zombies and collecting glowing steering wheels from barges and shit or whatever. All right, guys, I'm leaving it up to you. This was supposed to be 10-minute interviews, and it turned out to be 5 20-minute interviews or somewhere around there. Anyways, next to this post is going to be a poll on Patreon. And you're going to have the options between the first guest, Bumbo's girlfriend, the second guest, JihadQueen, the third guest, Fungletoe, the fourth guest, Potasty, or the fifth guest, Musclebust. My voice is really going to shit. Pick whichever one you like the most, and I'll get a full podcast with them. All right? So I'll see you guys on the next one.